welcome to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to get right into the March love outlook for the sign of Capricorn. All right, Capricorn, you're up. We're going to take a general look into your love life. Now, when I say a general look, this is only one reading into one particular scenario, right? We may hone in on your desire for love or your desire to get out of a love connection. It could be talking about the extenuating factors that are affecting your love life. Whatever the case may be, this is why we call it a general love outlook. But again, it may resonate with you and it may not resonate with you. This is only one reading, so if it doesn't apply to you, please just let it go. This reading is not for you. All right, guys? So let's get right into it. I'm going to pull out your full Celtic spread for Capricorn for March. All right. Straight out in the center, we have the Fool covered with the Emperor. Wow. Okay, we have Four of Pentacles in your conscious. Unconscious, you have the Queen of Cups. Coming in this month with Sun energy and coming out of the month with Justice. Cross watchers, you're going to see a lot of the same cards showing up as they have been lately for all of the love readings. Five of Wands, Four of Cups. Five of Cups, Knight of Cups. Bottom of the deck, we have Nine of Cups. All right, so you have two fives, certainly indicating power struggles, although one of them, Five of Cups, is generally an internal power struggle. And you have several fours, right? You have major arcana 4 and 2 4s. So we're talking about stability, maintaining stability, wanting to establish stability in one area. I'm going to come back to the bottom of the deck in a moment. I'm going to get right into the center of your reading, which is the Fool and the Emperor. Well, so let's get right into the Fool and the Emperor. Okay, the Fool is definitely the Quarren. It is always representing us going up and down the tree of life. And oftentimes the Fool indicates that you're entering into a new journey, a new stage, a new leg of that journey. And so, of course, whenever we're entering a new path in life, there is a certain amount of faith, a leap of faith, which is what we always associate with the Fool. But a lot of things one thing that we do forget about the Fool is that whenever we are entering into a new phase of life or a new path in life to learn something new, it only happens after we've already made a certain leap up. Right? After we've already achieved a certain quantum leap in our understanding in another area of our lives, right? We don't just get pulled from one situation to the next, to the next, to the next, unless we've learned a lesson from the previous situation, because life is all about learning, right? And so right now, this is definitely a new path for you, Capricorn. You're covered with 4, the major arcana, the Emperor. So this is a real desire to bring order to a situation, right? To bring order and stability. I think that perhaps you have come from a place where there hasn't been so much stability in your love life. Or you may have been in a relationship that was very unstable, where you were not really given any sort of authority. Nevertheless, right now, though, your attitude or the energy covering your love life for March is definitely one of authority. You certainly want to be the one in charge. You're the one who wants to call the shots, and you want things to progress in a very orderly fashion. It can certainly be that you've had a little bit of chaos in your love life before, and you just don't want that anymore. Right? Could be that you want a little bit more of a conservative, way forward with your love life. You may have indeed been dealing with individuals in the past that were much more rebellious. The Emperor is not about rebelliousness, certainly. Maybe the King of Wands is quite rebellious, but the Emperor Major Arcana is all about structure, order, power, the status quo, right? Let's get into the rest. We'll come back to that. Four of Pentacles and Queen of Cups. Well, this month you're really going to be worried about financial issues, the threat of your financial stability. This is a running theme for most of the readings in March. I am now on the 9th reading for March, 9th love reading, and I'm going to be honest when I tell you that Justice and the Four of Pentacles has pretty much shown up in every single reading. This month is a month, March, where all of us are dealing with financial pressures of some sort, you know. Now, my 2020 outlook's very, very positive. A year of rewards and blessings coming in. But please don't be mistaken in thinking that it is just going to be a perfect year. I have had comments from some of my subscribers saying, you know, wow, this looks like a terrible reading. You know, what happened to all of the good news? Well, the good news is still there. You know, I never for once suggested that there were not going to be some down moments or some difficulties. With all success and rewards and bounty and abundance always comes some work, some difficulty, perhaps some obstacles that you may have to overcome or transcend. And March just happens to be one of these months where we are all sort of maybe taking a little step back only to take many, many steps forward. And please don't be disheartened by that. Yes, there is a feeling of a threat in our finances, but again, Four of Pentacles is only the feeling of your finances being threatened. It doesn't always necessarily indicate any real danger. It doesn't necessarily indicate that you are facing any financial difficulty whatsoever. But it is in this position and situation, Capricorn, a worry of yours. In the back of your mind, you have a Queen of Cups, which is a deep desire to express your love and exchange your love with someone, to have a type of connection with someone where there is a real give and take, right? A real opening up. As above, so below is the Queen of Cups. When we hear that term, this is what we're talking about, because she is absolutely mirrors her deeper emotions on the surface. This is the person who wears their heart on their sleeve. This is also the person who is very emotionally stable. You know, their desire to express themselves and to share that very special cup of love. And by the way, that cup you see there is no other cup in the deck like it. Right? That cup that the Queen holds, there you won't find any other symbol of a cup within the tarot, in this tarot deck, that looks anything like it. And it is a symbol, or it is symbolic of the special gift that the Queen of Cups is willing to give, you know, how special her connection is. It is one-of-a-kind connection. It is a total, all-out, open heart chakra connection, but in a very healthy way, not in a needy way, not in a way that if she is not able to find someone to exchange her love with, that she somehow becomes emotionally crippled, or she becomes a recluse, or she becomes hateful and resentful, or, you know, no more men, no more women, I'm going to be single forever. This is not the attitude or the stance that she takes, because she is emotionally healthy, and she understands that not everybody is there or ready to accept that cup of love, or not, you know, she doesn't have to be able to exchange it with everyone, right? And in this way, she's emotionally strong, yet her desire is to be open and receptive and to give as well. Almost like an electrical current where the electricity goes back and forth, right? Sun and Justice. Right now, you have a lot of clarity and room for growth happening in your life. Things are opening up for you, and this is the energy that you're bringing into the month of March. The Sun can also indicate that you're feeling quite sort of the center of attention, right? A lot of times the Sun, although the Major Arcana 8 card, which is the Strength card, is the card for Leo, there is some minimal connections between Leo and the Sun card also. Only in the sense that the Sun very much puts the spotlight on you, right? A lot of times it can indicate an increase of fame or attention. And it can be that coming into March, you may have had a little bit more attention, Capricorn. You may have had a little bit more of a You know, you may have had more suitors coming in. You know, you may have had a little bit more attention on you from other people in this area of love or wanting to exchange love. You know, the first law of attraction, of course, is being open and loving yourself and enjoying yourself and enjoying life. And the Queen of Cups is very much embodies that. And it can be just because you're resonating with this Queen of Cups energy that you're really sort of bringing a lot of attention towards you. You round the month off with Justice, and this seems to indicate something coming in to rebalance an unbalanced situation, right? Although I don't feel that you are that unbalanced right now in terms of your love outlook. This is certainly going to be a reading for a single Capricorn. There's no indication in this reading that you are connected to someone in a committed relationship right now. This Justice card, though, could be some sort of event that comes in this month that's going to impact your love life. It doesn't necessarily have to be associated with it. Normally, Justice we do associate with like an event, right, that comes in to rebalance a certain scenario or a certain area in your life. A lot of times it can actually indicate a real judgment or a real agreement or documents being signed. This card has come up for a lot of the readings for March. I think almost all of the readings in some way or another have had Justice showing up. And I think that this month is a month where a lot of you are dealing with sort of official issues, official events, whether they be agreements or whether they be judgments or mediations or whatever the case it is, some kind of official event or document or person coming in to rebalance something. And somehow this is definitely going to be impacting your outlook on love. I'm looking ahead to a Knight of Cups, and absolutely there is someone coming into you in March. It's going to definitely turn into that for you. There is a love connection in a sense that somebody has their eye on you, is coming in towards you, because this month, you, like I said, you're resonating with this Queen of Cups, this desire to sort of have a connection with someone. Again, with the Fool at the center and the Emperor crossing it, I want to say this definitely feels like a reading for a Capricorn that has been single for some time, but that is now ready for love. That is now ready to open up, that is now ready to maybe engage with people, right, in a different kind of way. Nevertheless, most of your month in the front of your mind are the financial issues. Now, these financial issues, it could very well be, I'm going to say to you, some of you, the financial issues that you're having, you may indeed be having some kind of official event in connection with those. But I'm going to say that event, whatever this event is, I believe for the single Capricorn, there will be some kind of connection with someone that you make that will turn out for them to be that Knight of Cups. Could be that you start off just as friends or even colleagues or even in a very official capacity communicating with each other, but somehow along the way, I think a spark is made or a connection is made. Again, it doesn't surprise me because the Emperor's energy is, the Emperor can also sometimes indicate someone who is sort of at the top of their field, in charge, If you're dealing with, for instance, lawyers on a particular issue, right? It could be that the lawyer involved or the head lawyer involved or what have you, the person of authority involved is the one that somehow leads you to a love connection. Because with that Emperor energy covering this entire reading, yes, not only is it the energy of your desire to have order brought to chaos, but that type of individual is an individual of order anyway, right? And so when I said earlier about your desire to maybe bring order to what was normally a chaotic love life that you may have had before, this could also indicate the type of person you want coming in, being someone who's very methodical and orderly, in charge, has an authority figure attitude or stance. Your position this month and the energy that meets you. Well, your position towards love this month is a 5 of Wands, and you're met with a 4 of Cups. Now, this is quite interesting. There's a lot of arguing. There's a lot of bickering going on between you and someone else, or you and a group of people. And through all of that, someone is handing you a cup of love, and you're just not there for it, right? Now, again, I'm going to say this could very well be Remember what I said earlier. This Four of Pentacles is a feeling of your financial situation being threatened to a certain degree. It may not actually be true on the ground, but it is a feeling of that, right? And this justice issue being an official sort of event coming in. Well, if you're dealing with financial issues and you're dealing with official documents and agreements, etc., it makes perfect sense that there will be some debate or some arguing going on there, especially if you have a position different from someone else. And it almost feels to me, Capricorn, like an example I can give you is this. Say you're sitting there and you're talking about your business and you're arguing, or you're maybe debating, or maybe you're in a mediation process, right? And you're going back and forth with somebody. And while you guys are sort of at each other, suddenly you think to yourself, there's this little voice in the back of your head that says, oh, wow, they're actually kind of cute when they argue. You know what I mean? There's suddenly, because it's interesting, what comes out of it is a cup of love that you say no to. It reminds me of one of those movies where it's like, there's that one movie about the lawyers who are constantly sort of dealing with couples that are fighting or what have you. And the two lawyers, they're arguing with each other. And the one lawyer, they actually end up liking each other. And before you know it, the one lawyer is asking the other one out, and then the other one says, no, I don't want to have anything to do with you. It's unprofessional. But before but the spark is there, right? The spark is still there, despite all of the sort of no's. Let's keep this professional. And that's what it feels like here. It feels almost like out of the arguing and the debating and all of the quarreling, someone says to you, well, actually, you want to have a cup of coffee after all this? And you say, hell no, right? But in the back of your mind, you want to have that cup of coffee with them, right? You want to entertain it. Now, this could be another reason why we are now getting back to the Fool, because this could be very well a love interest coming into your life in a way that you never really expected it to. You never really sort of, you never let those two areas cross, maybe your professional life and your personal life cross. And it's like this whole thing, this dynamic here is so interesting to me because it really, it doesn't feel as toxic as it looks. Generally, Five of Wands is a real power struggle, and Four of Cups can be a real sort of no, but it feels much more lighthearted than it is. This Five of Wands definitely feels more like a professional debate that you're having. And of course, this entire environment or this entire way of you sort of meeting someone is very new to you. All right, so not only are you entering into a fairly new sort of stage in life, but this whole sort of outlook on love, or this whole avenue that love is being brought to you, is very new. All right, requires again a leap of faith. Remember, right? So when the feelings are there, even though it is out of the box for you, it's not a way that you've normally sort of met people, right? There is a need to keep, to take a leap of faith here, right? Because you know how you feel. The Queen of Cups is there to remind you that you know how you feel and you are emotionally stable. So remember to, think back on that. Think back on what your heart tells you and not too much on what your head tells you necessarily. If you meet somebody through love and it is a through work, if you meet somebody through work and there's a genuine connection there, and they are also respecting your boundaries. So I'm not talking about meeting a married person through work, or meeting someone, who is really not, who doesn't act the right way at all for you. I'm talking about somebody who, in every other sense of the word, is respectful and noble and the type of person you want. But the only thing, it just so happens that it is through this sort of power dynamic you have, this power struggle you have with them, that the opportunity for them to sort of say, hey, let's talk about this, is even happening, right? Five of Cups is your position of your hopes and dreams and your fears. Well, you fear being hurt, certainly. Five of Cups is an internal power struggle. Remember I said it earlier, 5 is the number for power struggles, but with Five of Wands, we have an external. Here it is internal, and it is the internal struggle we have of allowing ourselves to remain pessimistic and attached to the pain of the past, or having the strength to look up to the future, right? Look up and look to future possible love connections without that fear. Because sometimes we are, you know, a lot of times the reason why this is such an internal power struggle, and a lot of people say, well, why would you want to hold on to the past if it hurts you? Well, the reason why a lot of people hold on to past pain is because that's the pain they know. You know, sometimes it's easier to deal with the pain you know than to move forward and possibly experience a level of pain that you don't know. It's the unknown, right? It's the fear of the pain in the future. That's a pain that's unknown. How deep it runs is unknown. You know how you feel about these 3 cups falling over, but you're not quite sure how devastated you're going to be if these cups fall over. So to make it safe, to play it safe, and a lot of times to save yourself from this perceived future pain, which, you know, is a lot scarier, people tend to hold on to the pain of the past. You know, and it's a lot, you know, it's easier said than done to tell somebody, well, you know, just be positive, just be optimistic. That's easier said than done. You know, and, you know, it's like you know, the devil you know, then the devil you don't. The pain you know rather than the pain you don't, right? The unknown is always scarier. The unknown is always more frightening than the known, no matter how painful the known is. Nevertheless, this is in your position of your hopes and dreams and your fears. And so in a lot of ways, you hope and you really wish to sort of get over the pain of the past and look to the future. In a lot of ways, you fear it. Now, why is this here? I think this, of course, 5 of Cups is here because this is a Capricorn that has, of course, had pain in the past in your relationships. Which is why now this new kind of love connection that is coming in for you, that's coming in such a sort of unconventional way for you, is a real feeling of the Fool. It's a real feeling of newness for you. And it's going to require a leap of faith. Because it is all part of that internal power struggle of you deciding to look to the future rather than hold on to the past. You come out with a Knight of Cups, and of course, like I said, there is someone who is going to present themselves as the Knight of Cups in your life who you never expected to. And coming out with a Fool in the center is not really knowing what's going to happen next, and boom, here comes this Knight of Cups. Saying to you, well, guess what? I do kind of like you. I do kind of want to get something going with you. I do want to get to know you better. 9 of Cups. Now I come back to the 9 of Cups, and this is just a feeling of happiness and contentment. And I think to a certain degree, if you follow this, you will not go wrong. Because I believe that whoever this person is who is handing you this cup of love, and like I say, I think that this is going to come out of the most unlikely of situations, which is the situation where you are perhaps arguing your case or debating or mediating with someone, all to do with your finances, right? So a very unlikely avenue. Nevertheless, this individual, you have a lot of fun with them. I think when you think about it, you can't deny the fact that you actually enjoy their company. You have a lot of fun with them. And just because you may be professionally or in official capacity debating and arguing with them, you can't deny the fact that there is something intriguing about them. This is a very specific message for a very specific situation with a Capricorn who is single and probably going to be inviting some kind of love connection into their life through an avenue that they least expected, right? And this avenue is going to be fighting for their financial stability. Oops, jumpy. The deck is usually not this jumpy at all. Sorry about that. It's coming into your life in a very unexpected way, right? All right, give me some clarity here for my lovely Capricorn. Show me. I think that if I were to pull a romance angel message right now for you, it would be keep an open mind. You know, your soulmate may differ from the kind that you're used to or the usual individual that you're attracted to. Prince of Swords. All right, cutting away obstacles. There we are. Six of Swords, harmony. Prince of Wands. And there's your Five of Wands clarified again. Nine of Swords. Interesting, interesting. Well, we're going to put that right here. Yes, Four of Pentacles. This month you're going to be absolutely busy with that. And Prince of Swords is the same as the Knight of Swords. So, yes, you are putting a lot of your intention towards fighting this issue to do with your career or your business stability. You are going to be having a lot of discussions, coming up with a lot of sort of solutions to fix this whole issue, right? And that's where a lot of your energy is going to be going, which is another reason why I think this love connection will totally come out of the blue, because you're going to be focused much more on your career and your business and everything that goes into saving it in your mind. And this tenacity and this determination is not even, it's like you're not even aware that somebody's got their eye on you until they let you know. Even here, when they offer you this cup of love here, you're almost like incredulous. Like, what? What are you talking about? We were just sitting across, a mediation table a minute ago. Queen of Cups and Six of Swords, your desire to be with like-minded people and to be in harmony, right? Queen of Cups can really definitely talk about this desire to be with people who have the same mentality as yours, the same focus as yours, a solidarity there, right? Sword and the rose, we have a rose at the center of that cross. And again, it's like, if you are dealing with negotiations and things like that, you are emotionally invested in that. And it could very well be that, maybe even the person that is helping you in this fight, the person that is actually more aligned with you mentality-wise, is the one who's coming close to you, right? It may not even be the person who's at the other side of the table if you're working within a team. It could be someone on your team, but there's certainly a desire to exchange your cup of love with the type of person where you definitely have the same focus, intention, and mentality towards the world. Prince of Wands, another knight comes out here over the sun, and certainly the desire to follow your heart, being passionate, is the energy that you're coming in with this month. Another reason the sun is shining and that there is room for growth, because right now you are following your heart. You are being very, very passionate, right? Again, it could very well be that a lot of these discussions that you're having, yes, they are about money and money issues, but they may even be on behalf of somebody else. And you may just be feeling very passionate and very emotionally involved. You could be a lawyer or an attorney or a civil rights activist who is working in this field. And so if it isn't your personal issue that you're dealing with, it could be that you are an advocate for someone else, because that would definitely be the nature of the Knight or Prince of Wands. This is definitely the type of person who can be an advocate for someone else because they follow their heart and their passion and emotions are all entwined in what they're doing. Again, justice comes out, though. Five of Wands is over that justice card, and definitely there is strife that needs to be handled. There is Five of Wands clarified, right? So this justice event, this event of judgment or mediation or discussion does serve to bring balance to a situation. And there is a lot of battling and a lot of bickering, a lot of arguing involved, but sometimes that is exactly what is necessary. This to me just reaffirms the fact that this is a struggle in an official capacity that you're involved in, but that once again, this official struggle is the route by which you are going to find this love connection, and this Knight of Cups is going to be coming out to save the day. Nine of Swords is down here, another nine. We have Nine of Cups and Nine of Swords. So again, this is like the last step before completion. Nine of Swords is cruelty, regret, worrying about the past, worrying about your part in it. And I'm going to say, I think a lot of this is just anxiety over the situation, right? Because this is a very new situation. And I think that the Nine of Swords is much more sort of, in this reading, it's going to be much more sort of the fact that you are so emotionally invested in all of this that you're having some sleepless nights and some worry that it's going to work out the way you want it to work out. It could be, indeed, that... yes, justice usually comes in to serve justice, but the ultimate sort of reward or prize out of this entire exercise may simply just be this connection that you happen to make. All right, guys, this is your reading, Capricorn, for March. I'm going to leave it at that. Beautiful reading, very specific. If it doesn't resonate with you, that's absolutely fine. This is a pretty specific scenario that came through in the cards. But please do like, subscribe, and share if you enjoyed the reading. If you enjoyed the way I read the cards, if you enjoy my style, please support my channel. This is what I do for a living, and all of the support that I get, all of the views and all of the subscribers that I get, all of this just allows me to continue to provide these readings for you, okay? So do please go check out any of your other readings that may be linked in the description. Do please leave me a comment and all of that. But for right now, my lovely Capricorn, have a wonderful March, and I'll see you next month for your love outlook. Bye-bye now.